what I remember about Susan Smith, is that she also accused a black man of doing the crime. And the presumption of innocence that was afforded Kyle Rittenhouse on the scene, and it seems to be in the courtroom. I hope we have the sound of the judge. I admonish is not strong enough what he did from the bench and delivered at the lap of the prosecution. But I wonder, as we work on that, if you could take us through yesterday and that point of contention that ended with the judge telling the prosecutor that, who said, "I represent you as an officer of the court." That was my understanding. And he said, "I don't believe you. I don't believe you." Matter of fact, let's go ahead and play that. And then if you will, Dr. Pratt, I'd like you to unpack it for us on the other side.
Sure.
And you'd agree with me that you're not allowed to use deadly force to protect property, correct?
Yes.
But yet you have previously indicated that you wished you had your AR-15 to protect someone's property, correct?
Why would you think that that made it okay for you, without any advance notice, to bring this matter before the jury? I was astonished. By the way, Mr. Richards absolutely correctly points out that just hours ago, I said I had heard nothing in this trial to change any of my rulings. So why?
Testimony, Your Honor.
Pardon me?
That was before the defense testimony.
Don't get brazen with me.
Don't get brazen with me. Unpack it for us. What did you hear?
So I see that the prosecution is trying to get Kyle Rittenhouse to go into his mindset, go into his perspective on property rights, go into his mens rea. What is his mind state at this time? And the judge is frustrated. He's ruled on an attempted approach. He's limited the prosecution to a certain amount of statements, and the judge felt offended. Kind of like the other judge in the Arbery trial, the judge wants to control this courtroom. Now, in this instance, it doesn't seem as if the judge is being completely fair to the prosecution in this case. It makes sense that we need to get into the state of Rittenhouse, because the case of protecting property is at the center of this trial. And if we get into the state of Kyle Rittenhouse's mind, outside of a gun being pointed out at him, outside of the situational kind of distress that Rittenhouse has, it allows us to get a deeper understanding of what is the motive in the act of actually murdering some of these people. I think that the prosecutor is trying to do their best, but we do know across this trial, the prosecution has made several pitfalls. We even noticed that when it was mentioned that there was a gun pointed at Rittenhouse, you can see the prosecution visibly upset. And so I think that this is just a confluence of events that has led to a lot of frustration in the courtroom, and the judge has had enough, even though it seems like he's acting out a bit.
Yeah, the prosecution's job, the judge in this case, Judge Bruce Schroeder, said to be an old school judge, gives you a lot of trepidation if you're the prosecution, if you're somebody who thinks Kyle Rittenhouse is guilty here, right? Because in the beginning, his pre-trial judgment of not being able to call the deceased victims, yet you can call them rioters or protesters or whatever. And then his phone goes off in the courtroom yesterday, and I know this might just be a coincidence, but it's the same ringtone or the same theme song that Trump uses when he comes out for his rallies. But I want to ask you about Rittenhouse himself actually being on the stands, which we understand that is always a no-no. Why do you think they put him on the stand in the first place? And because of the emotions that he showed, did it actually work in his favor?
I mean, the accepted norm here is that of assumed innocence of a young, presumably young white man. As I mentioned before, black men are perceived as older, more violent, and that implies that their white counterparts are seen as younger, more docile, deserving of a second chance. I don't know if you remember a case several years back concerning affluenza, where there's this sort of protection that ones get because of the context that one is in, because that they have a history of not knowing how to be responsible citizens. So this is an instance where he had an opportunity to genuinely perform. And you all were talking before about how you may not believe his performance. I actually believe it. I believe that this is a panic mode. This is a threat of him losing power. He may be at a position where he believes that he may not be locked up, But I believe this is panic mode. He is in panic mode, and he's performing to the best of his ability to demonstrate to the jury that, you know, this is a shock to his system and a shock to the norm that we know that generally these folks get off.
For 17, now 18 years, America has never let him down. So perhaps he was panicking on that stand with just the mere possibility of this being the time that it happens.